Meow. Devoted to the metalcore connoisseur. Joel. Hopesfall. The Satellite Years. We got a 10-track album ahead of us. I've never seen the artwork of this, to be fair with you. 3 years ago, this was uploaded to YouTube, I can tell you that, as far as when it was released. 2002, published by Trustkill Records. Jay Forrest, Josh Brigham, Ryan Parrish, Chad Waldrop, Adam Morgan. Joel, to accompany your request, I've got some very, very cheap red wine that I may or may not be sipping off screen in between songs. I'm going to enjoy my night tonight. Ian Watkins, dead, murdered, in prison by a drill rapper, by two people. One of them being a drill rapper, supposedly, so I've heard from a third party. One of the two, I'm not saying which one because I don't know, apparently was a nonce themselves. Correct me if I'm wrong. End of an era. Watkins dead, can you believe it? Can you believe it? I was actually, I was gearing up on doing a video post-death of Watkins based on Lost Profits, because you won't believe what I did. I thought I'm going to have to fucking put on Start Something. And I put a couple of tunes on by Lost Profits. Ode to Summer. And all of that early stuff. I don't think was it Start Something wasn't the first record, was it? With Shinobi versus Dragon Ninja. What was I listening to? Let me just double check here. Fake Sound of Progress. And when I was younger, I got into Lost Profits via Liberation Transmission, where they were just more of a driving rock band. But that early stuff, I couldn't verse it because I was too young when I was listening to it. But in hindsight, it's pretty metalcore. It's pretty metalcore. And yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do a Lost Profits video because they were my favourite band when I was younger. And yeah, talk about the twists and turns. I speak to it on this video because obviously Joel, we've had a brief conversation in regards to Watkins and his behaviour and, you know, the insane behaviour, to say the least. I mean, we haven't got in depth, but it goes without saying, doesn't it? So I need to do a little video to my younger self in relation to that. With that being said, we're not talking about Lost Profits any further. Not talking about Watkins any further. Hopesfall. Track 1 of 10 is entitled Andromeda, perhaps. I'm not very well versed on the, you know, the outer realms and the sci-fi sort of elements. Let's jump in. Maybe it's not sci-fi, maybe it's rooted in reality. I really don't know. I know about the traditional old 7 planets, and that's about it. I don't know anything else about space and satellites and space tech. Mic check. Really good intro. You don't get an intro like this every once in a while, do you, on a metalcore-esque record? Boom, boom, boom. This is a fucking good intro. That feedback there, listen. I thought my fire alarm was going off. I hope we've got a lot of melodic breaks in the music that are like this. This is really good. This is a sign of the times. Do you know what I think of when I hear stuff like this? I think of Alexis on Fire. This is. There was a lot of good bands around my end when I first started to understand and get into hardcore music. There's some great atmospheric-esque post-hardcore bands that had sounds like this. You know, metalcore kind of acts. Post-hardcore, metalcore, blended acts. And this brings me back to the innocence of exploring music. Do you know, man? I'm speaking directly to you on this one, Joe. The fact this was the early 2000s, this was brought out. The feel, like, it sends a shiver down my spine. The feeling and experience in your younger years, initially going through the discovery and then the early exploration of these bands and these sounds and the way it made you feel. Absolutely incredible. We had a band, I think you would like this, or anyone who's into this sort of music. There was a UK-based act, melodic hardcore band. They were called More Than Life, and they did a record called Love Let Me Go. Wow. Phenomenal record. If you like that emotive side of hardcore, from what I'm aware, very, very underrated band. Very underrated band. They established a degree of a following over here, but wow. Oh. Sounds like this, you know? This is a very mature sound. And I know I'm going on and on. It's 3 chords and, you know, a motif, a riff that just goes on and on and on and on, and a drummer showing off a little bit. But there's more to this sound and this atmosphere and this image of the artwork that goes alongside this that is really exciting to me. I hope we get a bit of hardcore punk in here. Not to a minor threat sense, but do you know what I mean? You know, I do want a bit of melodic hardcore essence to this. I also want to hear some spoken word. Right, let's see where we go. We've got Waitress, track number 1. I don't know what to expect. I'll see you there. Yes, now, bless now, don't forget the rest now. The Satellite Years by Hopesfall just cracked into a cheap bottle of red. Incredibly sour. This first track is entitled Waitress. I don't know what to expect. Andromeda, the title track, really good. Let's go. Local shop near mine, yeah? Couple of Turkish heads who run it. I always catch up with one of them. He doesn't speak a word of English, to be honest. I'm sat there just looking at him. What time did you start, mate? What, you've been working for 12 hours? But he's always well respectable. £5. 5 British sterling. A bottle of wine. %12 volume. Whether it be white, red, rosé. £5 a bottle. I think they print their own flipping labels. Where this wine comes from, I have no idea. All I'm telling you is I don't complain. Is that a member of the band or is that a guest vocal? The whole lead guitar tippy-tappy legato bits, they don't sound anywhere near as good as the big open chordy bits. The big open chordy bits sound really good. The metal tinged stuff, I don't think it matches the upper echelons of the quality of this band's sound. It creates more, I don't know, you sound more like a band, whereas when you're just performing in this open emotive space, this big airy fairy chord induced wall of sound, I don't know, it links a little more so to the outer human existence as opposed to, oh, it's a bunch of dudes in a band writing metal riffs, you know? Lovely, lovely little breaky D in there. I like the organic sound of the drums. I do like the organic sound of the drums. Very 2000s, that drum production. Very pleased. I'm not going to waste no more time. We've got Dead in Magazines coming up next. Yes! King of the Pit TV. The satellite years, not to be mistaken for the satellite TV years. Not to be mistaken with the Fatellite years. We're listening to Hopesfall. This is track number 3 entitled Dead in Magazines. You know what? Whilst we're speaking about metalcore, let's talk about another 2000s metalcore band. As I Lay Dying. I saw a guy called Tim winding people up again. Tim Lambesis, what's his name? Tim Lambesis? As I Lay Dying. Is that the guy who put a hit out on his wife or something? That's crazy. You know what? If that's the guy who put it out, I listened to As I Lay Dying since I was in high school. Yeah, I used to like them. Shadows, Security, The Ocean Between Us. Was it The Ocean Between? An Ocean Between Us, maybe it was called. We had a band here called Tobu, The Ocean Between Us. A pretty good band, pretty good metalcore band. Everything back then was about the ocean, as far as metalcore is concerned. They sound like While She Sleeps. While She Sleeps were good. Bro, I'm going on a tangent right now. I bought Metal Hammer magazine, and they put the North Stands for Nothing, While She Sleeps EP on the front of this magazine. How is that for marketing? Incredible marketing. And it was a really good record. It was a really good record. This one's Dead in Magazines. Let's go. Yo, and this entire listen through not only goes out to Joe, but it goes out to any frontman out there. I've got to word this carefully. It goes out in anyone who finds just the slightest bit of humour in putting a hit out on your missus just for the sake of it. That's fucking hard. I need to listen to some more As I Lay Dying. Come on. I don't support that, and I do not promote that. Do not harm anyone in this world. They might send your family to go to war to die. They might satanically ritualize you as the lesser caste in your society and as the subordinates of the powers that be, but don't ever do any violence of your own people. It's not allowed, it's not legal. We're talking esotericism tonight. Dun-dun-dun. Whilst I'm here speaking about mortality and speaking about going to war and stuff like that, I've read some spiritual literature as of recent, one would argue spiritual scripture, that of the Bhagavad Gita, Hare Krishna, Krishna consciousness, offshoot of Hinduism. And it's hard. It's hard. It tells the story of a man who is in battle, in a war, and he speaks to God, the Godhead, and upon the other side of the battlefield are members of his own family. And he says, how can I kill these people? They are of my own family. And God says, listen to me now. The material flesh is momentary. The soul has no beginning or no end. Do your duty. Or wipe them out! Bada bing! I thought, yo, this is some religious material I can get behind. This is hard. Come on now. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. The battle at Kurukshetra. The battle at Kurukshetra, in reference to metalcore and hardcore Jason music, Kurukshetra is the title of a song on Alpha Omega by Cro-Mags, right? Obviously, you had the band Shelter, but derived from Youth of Today, that was influenced by the Hare Krishna movement, because you've got, I don't know what he goes by now, Yaganuf or something like that. Who's the guy of Youth of Today that became a monk? Was it Ray of Today? But yeah. Obviously, Shelter is a Hare Krishna Hindu act, monk band. But the Cro-Mags started to do a lot of that. On Last Wishes, you've got a Hindu deity on the front, as to which I can't tell you who it is, but the lion-headed god just like causing trouble and distress. Absolutely awesome. The imagery is fantastic. Eastern spirituality and esotericism has got awesome imagery. Let's go. Ba ba ba. Lovely transition. Da da da, ba da da. Beautiful transition. Great drumming too. This entire listen through goes out to Tim Lambesis, or whatever his name is. Ian Watkins. And flipping Seth Putnam of the band Anal Cunt. I don't get paid for these videos anyway. Gives a fuck. At least I don't get monetized on YouTube for them, you know what I mean? That was Dead in Magazines. Absolutely adored that outro. Really good, really good, really good. Let's continue on with Dana Walker. Who the hell is Dana Walker? But in reference to Dead in Magazines, good utilization of the major tonality without it sounding too upbeat, too positive. I had a friend who would not listen to Parkway Drive. I used to really like Parkway Drive when I was younger, and I said, oh, check this out. And he said, no, man, because he was a deathcore head. He was a drop B deathcore head. First wave of deathcore, or at least first breaking through wave of deathcore, the MySpace era, mid-2000s. It was like, bro, I can't listen to Parkway Drive because the breakdowns are too positive, because there might be a little tinge of a major interval in the breakdown. Put some respect on that. We got Dana Walker coming up next, yeah? Yes, now, bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. The Satellite Years is what we're listening to by the act Hopesfall. I'm catching a light little buzz in between a song or two. I might have a little sip of my cheap red wine. Don't hate me on that. I'm enjoying my night. Between you and me, do you know what time it is in the morning? It's 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Don't let anybody tell you that I don't graft and I don't grind. Let's not mess around, people. The original Don Dada Badman. Dana Walker. Who the hell is Dana Walker? Track 4 of 10. Let's go. Virgin Music Group. is Virgin a subsidiary of? You wouldn't expect Virgin to be a subsidiary of a major label, but there's only Warner Music, Universal Music Group, and Sony, whom are the umbrella companies for everything that is mainstream from there on. Who owns these companies? I don't know. Don't ask me. But whomever owns these companies, all I'm saying is they distribute the message. They distribute the audio influence across all the cultures, all the markets of consumers. I don't know who runs them, but Virgin Music Group, you would expect them to be one of the top tier umbrella companies. Like Virgin is larger than life, just across the board, entrepreneurial, corporately, and so forth, right? But I wonder who they are a subsidiary of. They're not independent, are they? Let's be real. By the way, if you want to know who actually does own the labels, it's the same people who are telling the African American community that they should aspire to sell drugs and kill each other, and through that means they are real, whereas they are square if they actually do the opposite. Hey? I don't like the music industry, just to let you know. I'm a fan of rap music, enticed by modern rap music, 808s, this, that and the third, but the industry itself is devilish and only serves purpose to destroy the family unit and create destruction, degeneracy, and subvert linguistically the reality of that which is in particular communities. I don't like it. I'm putting you on game tonight. Don't gas me. I seen a post. A guy I don't mind, or at least I don't mind his music. Boss Mandilo. Anybody know about Boss Mandilo? Boss Mandilo, trapping music, no reference to murder or violence and so forth. And people like elevating because of that. Oh, it's nice to hear someone just about making money, but obviously the making money is about selling drugs. You come across the fact that he was a well-employed in 2003. Working a 9 to 5, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait a minute. Why did he get picked up then to promote a message to sell drugs to your community if that wasn't his reality? It's a bit mad, don't you think? Mr. Pot Scraper. I'm coming here with a strong message tonight, people. I'm saying if you want to go or don't have a problem going to prison, you're gay, alright? A straight attack on your masculinity, that's all I'm saying. That would spur on a change in the dynamic if we start applying that principle. All this punani in the world and you want to go to prison? Operate within the boundaries of the law, my friends. Let me show you what I'm reading. I read this. The history of the world in bite-sized chunks, yeah? If you see the little pink bits, I take little phrases and words that I don't really understand or need to know to a deeper level what it means, so I have some degree of coherency, such as Mesoamerica, because I'm not very geographically able. I mean, I can't even pronounce this one. The chief god Quetzalcoatl, which is in reference to the Toltec civilization, usually translated as feathered, serpent. So I need to do a little bit of searching. I read this because I'm not historically educated nor geographically educated. What you realize is when you read the history of the world in bite-sized chunks and see how civilizations have operated from, you know, the earliest written civilization, Sumeria, you know, as far as we as the people are concerned, historically speaking, they probably know, you know, civilizations above and beyond there to a great deal in depth. But you realize it's all about trade and it's all about conquering other nations. That's all it is. People only move. Civilizations only move. The history of the world in bite-sized chunks is just like we engage with that civilization to create a trade route and to create business, or we went over there to kill everyone and conquer and colonize. It's one or the other. It's crazy. It's crazy. Aside from that, and I am using this as a bit of a scapegoat to make sure I don't sound too ignorant tonight as I'm sipping and talking about, you know, nonsensical music, political theory. Introducing NLP. Neuro-linguistic programming, okay? Psychological skills for understanding and influencing people, written by Joseph O'Connor and John Seymour. Fascinating. Speaks of mapping, speaks of framing, speaks of all of that good stuff, eye accessing cues and non-verbal communication and the like. There we go. Let me put you on some game. Let's keep on going. Dana Walker. Who has Trustkill Records put out? Trustkill is a well-established act, but not a label I've had much familiarity with. No doubt Trustkill have put out a couple of records or engaged with a couple of bands I've enjoyed over the years, but I can't put my finger on who. Lovely bridge section. I think this band does the instrumental bridges and the atmospheric melodic components better than the heavy stuff. It's great how versatile music is, because me, normally, any metal adjacent band, I'd be like, flipping hell, like, another bridge, another clean bridge, another instrumental, another blah-de-blah. Can't we just get to the riffs? Can't we just get to the breakdowns? Can't we just get to the good bits? But with this particular band, I think they really do excel in the moments in between the vocal and the... I think this band really excels in them bridge moments. It's always very pleasing. And, you know, I think I'm unconsciously influenced by the album artwork. I think it goes hand in hand with the image I see before me. We've got Decoys Like Curves coming up next. Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. King of the Pit TV. The satellite years were misbehaving tonight, all right? Decoys like curves. What the hell does that even mean? The decoys like curves, or decoys, or the curves are decoys? Track 5 of 10. This title listen through goes out to my good friend Joel, aka the metalcore connoisseur. Not letting me down. Not letting me down on this one. Let's jump in. Track 5. Like the panning on them guitars there. Da 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 da. 6 days ago, Testament put out a tune on their YouTube called Seek and Destroy. Is this really going to be a Metallica cover? I need to identify this. 1 second. I just listened to so much of the start of that tune. Of course, it's a Metallica cover from a Metallica tribute record. A bunch of acts have covered the songs of Kill 'Em All. Imagine being in Testament in 2025 covering a song from Metallica's first album. How cringe is that? Hey, as long as it's attention, as long as it creates more revenue for Metallica, they wrote the songs, they make the money, you know? Hear them screams in the background. Fascinating blending there with the noisy guitar. Making a bit of noise for the sake of it. That was a good tune. I'm enjoying this record. There's a maturity to this project that I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying this. You know, I've said this before. Inside of me is... I think who I am now represents a shell that protects my younger self, and inside of this shell there is my younger self who was interested in the same things as what once was, and now has manifested into an older self who can still perceive and identify and appreciate those things that I once would do in my younger years. And this is an album, or a sound at least, that in my teenage years, had I come across this album, I would have appreciated it and enjoyed it, and, you know, got along with it to the same degree as I did with Alexis on Fire and Atreyu and 36 Crazy Fists and these metalcore, post-hardcore adjacent acts. Jeez, that Atreyu record, The Curse. Wow. Joel, if you know that record, The Curse by Atreyu, wow, I adored a few tunes on that album. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal. And then they went on to do like a more songwriter-based tangent, which I sort of signed out on because I was exploring all sorts of music, and when they brought it out, or yeah, they did, I think it's called Lead Sails Paper Anchor or something, and they, you know, sort of started not selling out, but they started to market themselves a bit better, and there was some great songwriting on there, but I was too far gone at that point. I was listening to like death metal and, you know, gore grind and porno grind and disgusting guttural toilet sound vocals at that point, so it detracted me from what was once a band I used to love. Yeah, let me know, anybody who's watching this, let me know if you listen to Atreyu. Yeah, I really enjoyed them back in the day. A Man Exits is the title of this one. Yeah, let's keep on moving. Track number 6. Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. The Satellite Years is the album we're listening to by the act Hopesfall. A Man Exits is the title of track number 6 of 10, which is what we're listening to. Not to be mistaken with A Man Enters, which could be taken a little differently. Okay, no pun intended. Let's jump in. Da-da-da. Yo! In the related videos is an album cover of a band I had a song or two of back in the day. Hope's Die Last. I'm gonna have to check this out for 1 second. Call Me Sick Boy title of the song, but I don't know that one. But that album cover, Hope's Die Last. Let me just see who's on this. Yeah, that was sick. I didn't listen to Call Me Sick Boy, but I clicked through that link and then went on to another one. It was entitled I Belong to the Skies, I think. Corny as hell, clean vocals. And then fucking sick, mate. I used to be into an act called Alisana. Corny as hell. cringe and weak and beta as hell. But man, they define these years I'm sharing right now whilst listening to Hopesfall. Early 2000s to mid 2000s. What a time to grow up in alternate music. Wow. Better. How's that? Little clean guitar over that breakdown, huh? You don't hear that often. Banana boom. Really like them backing vocals, them high end ones. Little psychedelic blend there. Banam 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 ban. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a Man Exits. Nice little number. Nice little blend. Redshift, track number 7, coming up next. See you there. Yes, now, bless now. King of the Pit TV, The Satellite Years, Hopesfall, track 7 of 10. This. What's that in, what do they call it? Roman numerals. X, isn't it? What would 7 be? XII slash... No. VII slash X. Redshift. It's a brief one. Maybe it's a filler. Maybe it's transitional tune at 1 minute 54. Let's find out. You know what? The way and the excellence this band conducts itself during the instrumentals and during the bridging sections, I don't think 1 minute 55 will be a transitionary idea or implement. It'll just be as good and as consistent, as uniform as what we've heard on the record. We listened to Hopesfall with an EP, No Wings to Speak Of, which was recommended by Joel so far back now. This project, The Satellite Years, you know what, in all honesty, between you and me, I can't remember too much of the full EP, No Wings to speak of. I can't think too much of it. It doesn't stick to mind. So I can't compare and contrast. But with what I've heard on this record, this is really good. This is really good music. This is really good music. This is symbolic of a time I long for. My golden era, honestly. Some lovely twinkles. We'll flow this into track number 8, Only the Clouds, yeah? Bang! Sipping on a cheap red wine tonight, getting through the bottle. Ah, gorgeous stuff. Not had a sip in a minute, so I'm enjoying myself tonight. I say tonight, this morning. At this point, some people will be getting up to work at this point. Only the Clouds, track number 8. Enjoy your advertisement. Huge product ranges at Asda. Get your poison. Get your parasites. Get your cancer. Yeah? Let's go. I say hypothetically speaking, I don't mean anything I say. This is the spoken words of Des. Des isn't me. It's an artistic persona. Come on now. I'm a theatrical entertainer. Banana. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Twingle, 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 twingle. In between this, I came across a channel, a popular channel, that I'm not going to talk about. Let's go. If I spoke about it, I'd get in trouble, alright? No more thought crimes. Let's enjoy the music. You ever seen them basic people who just like rinse and repeat like pure NPC, and it's just like 1984 was meant to be a warning, not an instruction manual. Oh. If you wonder why I'm thinking about stuff like this and talking about stuff like this, and you're not in England right now, where the test rats right now for all that is good in the world. We are going to strive for perfection and all that is good. We are going to create a utopia in the world, don't you worry. Our governmental forces and so on and so beyond, those whom fund them and pay them off and lobby them, yes, create a brighter future, most beautiful future for all. So that's why I'm conscientious right now. I'm going to go live in a third world country. We've gone too far in that direction. I want to go back to my ancestry. I want to go back to my primitive being, yeah? Ba-dum-bow. La 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 la. Escape Pod for Intangibles coming up next. Track number 9. Yes, now, bless now. If you ever considered getting a wedding ring, did you not know that the diamond industry is manufactured and catered to by those whom own the diamond trade? Did you not know that the diamond economy is completely manufactured by those whom allow the distribution of the diamonds into the market? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it because I've got a wedding ring advertisement down at the bottom of my YouTube page. Thought I'd let you know. Get your missus a nice cubic zirconia. She won't know the difference, honestly. You won't know the difference. She'll forget about it. Make her seem richer. Make you seem richer to her friends by getting her a little CZ. Escape Pod for Intangibles. Hopesfall. I'm giving you game tonight, people. And if you think that's lying, if you think blah, blah, trust me, it is lying. If you want to be ingenuous in your life, do that. If you want to be a reputable, honourable person, don't do that. But know that those in media, those celebrity status, those rappers and so forth, they're all doing that. What you think is a 120 grand chain is actually worth £160. Okay? Escape Pod for Intangibles. We're talking game. We're chatting game. Hopesfall. Devoted to Joel. Let's go! precious gems, jewelry. Did you know if you go to the shop and buy a gold necklace or ring, if you buy a sterling silver necklace or ring, that as to which you buy the product is not based upon the weight of the actual metals. It's based upon the craftsmanship of the crafter. Don't lose sight when it comes to jewelry. I know a little bit again about jewelry. I used to buy a lot of gold stuff, so don't worry. I can talk to you about carrots. Talk to you about this, that, and the third. Love the twinkling there. That tapping. Also, whilst we're on the topic of marriage and weddings and so forth, no disrespect to wifeys and so on and so forth, there's a benefit to everything. Like, I would like to get married, personally, for my own personal reasons. Maybe not for the mainstream reasons, but I would like to do so. But I want to teach you some game. Whilst we're talking about the satellite years that's branded itself within the realms of space and that which is above and beyond, the giving symbolically of a wedding ring is linked to the worship of Saturn. Did you know that? Saturn worship the black sun. Did you know that? The dark sun? When we exchange a ring upon the finger, what does Saturn have revolving around itself? It has a ring. Saturn, Satan, Santa, Saturnus, Kronos, Grim Reaper, wherever you want to look, Saturn influence is around us. Some religions may have a black cube that represents the hexagon, which represents the never-ending hexagonal six-form, six-pointed storm upon the polar edge of Saturn. And some may walk around it in a circle. Do you ever think about that? The black cube is symbolic. Pay attention to where you see it, whether it be on the forehead, whether it be in Mecca, whether it be in the formation of a cross, which can go ding, 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 ding. That's three Abrahamic religions in relation to Saturn worship, planetary worship that links to an earlier age. Pay attention. This is how the world works. Come on now. Hourglass. The tilting of the hourglass. With all this time to kill. La 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 la. Let's finish this record off with the bending. Alright. A little bit of bending here and there. Don't go amiss, does it? Let's finish off. See you there. Yes, now, bless now. The satellite years by Hopesfall is coming to an end as we're on track. I'm starving and boring! Track 10 of 10. I've been sipping on a bottle of red. Polished off. Don't worry about it. Polished off. Longest track of the record at 6 minutes 40. The bending. What the hell are you on about the bending? What are you bending? I don't want to know what you're bending. This time this goes out to my good friend Joel, the metalcore connoisseur. Let's finish this record off, yeah? Track 10 of 10. The Satellite Years. My question is this going to be a long track or a hidden track at the end of this? I'll put £5 on the fact that there's a hidden track. This song's going to be like 3 to 4 minutes and there'll be a hidden track at the end. If I'm wrong, I don't owe you anything. But if I'm right, you owe me a subscription to the Patreon. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig. How's that for dissonance? The little the down wow, bada 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 wow. La da 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 da. A whole 6 minutes 40 for that last number. Da, 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 da. Great catchy melody. I don't catch what the lyrical content was. That wasn't a bad number to finish off with. That was great metalcore. I'll give you one last video, my overview of this record as a whole, and I'll rate it out of 10. See you there. Yes, now bless now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Let's not get emotional. We just listened to Hopesfall and their album entitled The Satellite Years. 10 tracks. Requested on the Patreon by the one, the only, the metalcore connoisseur, Joel. Put some respect on Joel. If you're a fan of metalcore, don't thank me. Thank the man, the legend that is Joel. Now, we had 10 tracks, Hopesfall. We listened to the EP So Far Ago, as recommended by Joel. I had mixed feelings. This record, I might have had a little switch up in the engagement with the material. Released in 2002, apparently, Trustkill Records. You debate me if I'm wrong. I couldn't care less, but let me know if I am wrong. This was a good record. Didn't outstay its welcome. 10 tracks is sufficient. I could call it 8, if not 9. For this particular sound, metalcore-esque material, you know, keep it a little more on the hardcore adjacent side of things as opposed to the overextended metal stuff. Trustkill, relatively independent. I don't think they were a subsidiary of a mainstream. Mainstream, different situation. I want to say I hate to say it, but I don't. I enjoyed this record, and I don't say I hate to say it because it's a negative to enjoy this record, but oh man, where do we start? There's an emotional value. There's an emotive value. There's a connective value. Not to everybody, but to somebody like myself who came up and experienced music and started to enjoy music and started to take influence from music that had come so many years prior, when they started to get into more extreme music and when they started to find and fathom their own identity through the alternate expression of music, especially in this particular realm of, you know, harsh vocals and distorted guitars and loud drums and abrasive production and all of this good stuff. This record touched me in a place that not many recommendations do for a start. Not many intentional listens do, as far as my own concerns are concerned. I don't like to feel anything other than an enjoyment of the years because there's a pleasant melody. I don't want to regress to an earlier time, to a more sensitive and vulnerable time. This recommendation, this record made me feel that way, and that's not out of me not wanting it. That's out of me perhaps finding sanctum within this space that I always hide from via my own personal actions. Having visited this record for the first time, I've never heard this album in my life. I paid interest and attention to so many different facets of music that once were everything to me, albeit for a short moment of time, but that transitionary period was ever so powerful in my development as a human being. This really creates a great fathom of thought and depth that I don't get from listening to a band from the 80s or the 70s or the 60s or a Britpop act of the this, that and the third, or a pop act contemporary that comes and goes. And this is very, very specific to a person like me, to a psyche like me, to a development like me, and I adored this record. So let's talk about music. Production was okay. The drums were very organic. The guitar work, when chordy, was good. When riffage was not that good. We don't want to hear riffs from this act. We want to hear big, broad, open chords, big, airy, fairy, spacey stuff. The only differentiation I want to hear is the degree of distortion on the guitars. Simple. Clean vocals were okay. Distorted vocals, harsh vocals were okay. This band and this record was defined... Nah, I can't say the band. I don't know the band. The record was defined by the clean and bridging instrumental sections. Not necessarily needing to be clean, but as opposed to like the harsh vocal going out of my way to be a metal band element. Every time they switched from that... Now, the metal element was a necessity, but when they went to the bridging section, the instrumental section, the melodic section, that's what made it. That's what made it. That's what connected to me. That's what made this a more mature project. Emphasis on mature, most definite. Clearly. I liked this record. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. On that note, I'm signing out. Peace, one love. Goodbye.